and welcome. You're watching IndiaTV Digital, and I'm Nidhi Taneja. Today, we have with us a very special guest in terms of the field of education. She's been raising students' voices since the past many years. Now, Anubha Shrivastava Sahai, first, let us welcome you.
Hello.
Anubha,
Hi, Nidhi.
you have just filed a petition in Supreme Court seeking relief for several chartered accountancy students. Now, what does that petition exactly seek? Because from what all I know, it seeks vaccination for students. It seeks postponement of certain examinations. Some students may also be against the postponement. Apart from that, opt-out option for students, additional attempts, and other relief. So let us get point by point into the relief that you've sought.
See, we moved PIL for Honorable Supreme Court 2 weeks back because many students were complaining that exams are going to be held in the month of July first week. And ICAI has postponed examination for foundation. Foundation course has been postponed. Then they have postponed exams for their members. Members exams are also scheduled in the month of June. That also has been postponed. Foundation has been postponed. So these students were requesting and pleading the authorities and the institute, ICI, that their exams also should be postponed because most of the students are not vaccinated. Now there are several groups actually. There's a foundation, then there intermediate, then there is a group of final course. Now every student are having their different issues. Now due to pandemic, many students are saying that since the institute is conducting exam, but they have not come up with any kind of guidelines for giving them relief in respect to opt-out option or extension of old course students, or even conducting exams, giving an additional attempt for all these students before November cycle, because there are two cycles, basically May and November. So this is the now May cycle, and the exams have been already postponed till June, then July. Now what these students are seeking is that if ICI is going to conduct exam, their first priority should be safety and security. So they are seeking that vaccination. Vaccination is their first demand, that students should be vaccinated before they are being.
So this is the prime demand, vaccination for students before offline examination.
Yeah, vaccination. And it is not only CA aspirants. We have been demanding it for all the students, that if any government or any institute or any examination conducting body is conducting exams in offline mode, then they should vaccinate these students, staff, and other teachers and invigilators. That what we have demanded demanded for even board students, and the exams were cancelled because there is an alternate remedy which is available, alternate attempt, internal assessment. But as regards CA exams or maybe other entrance exam, they don't have any option but to go for exams and in offline mode only. Because
these examinations cannot be cancelled as such. They can only be postponed further, or maybe you can introduce some benefits for students. If at all you give an opt-out option to students, just like the previous year, then you also have to carry on the previous benefits to the next year.
Right. So basically, what we are demanding is the vaccination. Students should be vaccinated because these centers, examination centers, can turn into COVID spreader. So in order to avoid such spread of COVID again, and then third wave is also approaching, the government and in the institute and examination conducting bodies must ensure that the proper safety measures should be taken before conducting or holding any kind of exams in offline mode. Now, as far as online mode is concerned, we have requested them even last year that you make some arrangement for online exams, but they could not do. But now they are planning for an online exam maybe in future. Now these exams
it will take some time. I think it will take some time to set up a huge online mechanism.
They could have worked because their sister concern, they're conducting exams in online mode, so they could have also worked. Yes, and in fact ICSI, after we filed our PIL, ICSI has given all those reliefs which we are demanding. They have given opt-out option, they have given extension, they're giving alternate attempt also before November cycle. So this is what these students are basically requesting, that these students should be given if the exams are going to be held in the month of July, then there are many students who are facing a lot of problem due to pandemic, due to medical emergency. Many students are COVID positive. Their families are also in hospital. They are running from here and there. Still, they have not come out of this COVID second wave. And many students are positive. Some have taken vaccines, first dose. Some are waiting. So there are a lot of problems which these students are facing, and transport issues there. Lockdown is there. Transport problem, accommodation problem. They're saying even our relatives are not ready to keep, if they are requesting their relative that since hostels and other the PGs are this thing are closed, so we are not getting any help from their relatives also. So where are they going to stay? There is no such arrangement being made by the institute also, and the institute is not taking any kind of responsibility. That is also a very serious issue. So what these students are saying, if you are hell-bent upon conducting exams in the month of July, there may be many students who will not be in a position to appear for exam for many reasons, maybe medical emergency or transport or accommodation. So these students should be given an option for opt-out before the exam or even during the exam if anything happens to them or to their
An
family or
opt-out
any
option
problem.
was rolled out last year also when the situation was not this bad.
Right. Yes.
This is the ground students are putting for them to get an opt-out option yet again. And apart from that, when we talk about last attempters, the old course last
Right.
attempt to, because this is their
Yes.
last attempt and they have been studying
Yeah.
the same syllabus since the last many years, and
Yes.
some have just fall short of just 3 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks. So many of these students, old course last attempt students, have been demanding that they be given an additional attempt.
And yes, and so before I come to that, as far as the old course students are concerned, before that I would request, what I will be discussing is that the new course students also, their demands are also genuine, which they are saying that they should be given an opt-out option before or after, before or during the exam, and an additional attempt. But that is before November, which they are saying, because last year what happened, exams were cancelled after we moved a PIL. We were not demanding cancellation, but they cancelled exams and they merged May attempt with November, due to which many students had to suffer because they have to wait for almost 6-7 months. So and the examination which were conducted in the month of November, where they merged May cycle and November cycle, more than 4.5 lakh students appeared for that exam. So students are saying that we don't want this, we don't want it this year. The exam should not be merged, May cycle and November cycle. If at all the institute is conducting exam in July, then they should give an opt-out option and an additional attempt before November cycle. So they are demanding an additional attempt before November cycle if they will opt out. Secondly, the old course students now, as far as the old course students are concerned, they are demanding extension because there may be many students from old course who are struggling very hard. There may be some problem in their family, and this will be their last attempt. So these last attempters from intermediate, IPCC and final course, these students are requesting and pleading for an additional chance, for an extra chance, for an extension, which is their genuine demand. And I think ICI should consider this genuine request of the old course attempters who are having their last attempt this particular year. Because this is pandemic, and I don't think there is any harm if their sister concern can give such kind of relaxation, then why not ICI? So this is what the old course last attempters are demanding, an extension. And apart from that, there are other concerns also, which students have told me that last year when ICI have given them opt-out option and an extension where alternate attempt in the month of January, the results were declared separately. And there was huge difference percentage-wise. As far as the November or December attempt was concerned, they got good marks in the month of December, percentage-wise. And in the month of January, when additional attempt was given, during that time, the results were declared separately and they were being discriminated. That's what the students told me. So we are demanding that the results also should be declared for both the attempts, not both the attempts. For this May cycle, even if they are conducting an additional attempt before November, then they should declare the results together. so that these students should not be discriminated who belong to the same cycle or who are going to appear for the same cycle. So this is what students told me. These are some basic prayers which we are requesting, basic relief which we are seeking from Honorable Supreme Court. Apart from that, vaccination is what is very mandatory, and government should definitely look into it, that the vaccination drive, they should start at a war food level. Apart from vaccination, RT-PCR test, then proper, they should follow all the guidelines properly in the centers, because last year we have seen, and even in the month of January, I have received several mails from students where they have shared several pictures of different centers where there's huge crowd. And what ICI has done last year, they said we are increasing centers, but what they have done, in one particular center, they have allotted 4 or 5 number of centers. So they divided different blocks and allotted centers in that particular one center only, in that one premises only. So there were some centers where more than 300, even 400 students appeared for exam. So just imagine what would be the situation in those centers if same policy or same guidelines they are going to implement even for this year. This year is definitely, second wave is different from first wave. We should not take such kind of risk. That's why we are demanding that more and more number of centers should be open, and students should not be merged in one particular center. They should not be allowed, not more than 50 students should be allowed in one particular center. Even if there are 2 or 3 exit gates, but you cannot control crowd outside examination center. So gathering of 400 students along with invigilators and their parents also in one center is really going to create a lot of trouble, and it will be very difficult to, it can turn into super spreader if such centers will be allotted, but 3-4 centers will be clubbed in one particular center. So that's also is a very big concern. We are demanding that more number of centers should be open. Apart from that, we are also requesting that accommodation and transport facility should be provided for these students. E-pass should be provided. That also we requested last year. So this is a very small request and prayer, but that can be done. But the major concern is vaccination, additional attempt, extension of old course attempters, then additional attempt before November cycle, and opt-out option during and before the exam, then results, declaration of result of the both the cycles, not both the cycles of exams, additional attempt exam and even the July attempt if they are conducting exam. So both should be declared together. So
I
there
think
are
very
several
well
other
summed up by you.
There are several other this thing also which we are requesting, that one standby center also should be made available in case if there is any emergency. Then one standby center should also be made available for the students in the nearby area. And one more problem which students faced last year, which they told me that in the last moment, just 1 day or 2 days before exam, they were being informed that your center is changed. So just imagine if the institute is changing center just 1 day or 2 days before the exam, what kind of mismanagement is this, and how the students are going to suffer? Suppose a student, if he will not get a call due to some reason, uska mobile mein kuch internet mein problem hai ya network is not there proper, or if he will not be able to read the message or any notification which comes just 24 or 12 hours before his examination, then what will happen to him? He may lose one attempt. तो देयर मे बी सम स्टूडेंट्स लास्ट अटेम्प्टर्स, अगर उनको हम एक दिन पहले आपको बता रहे हैं कि tomorrow your examination center will be in this location, which will be at least 40-50 kilometers, 30 kilometers far away, then suppose अगर वो examination center पे पहुंचता है, उस बच्चे को नहीं पता है स्टूडेंट को कि मेरा सेंटर चेंज हो गया है, it's gone, so he will not be able to appear for that exam. So ये सारी प्रॉब्लम्स जो है स्टूडेंट्स ने फेस की थी लास्ट ईयर, जो उनको प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स थी, ये सब हमने अपने पीआईएल में रेज किए बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स, एंड वी जस्ट प्रे एंड बिलीव एंड जस्ट होप दैट सुप्रीम कोर्ट, ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट will pass some good order in favor of students. And in fact, before Supreme Court, I would request ICI, I would request, my humble appeal to ICI is that you consider all these genuine requests and demands of these students which they are requesting because of the pandemic. So ICI को खुद ही जो है, before they release the admit card, they should ensure that all these requests and demands are considered.
I think all the points have been very well summed up and explained by you. Apart from that, Anubhaji, just a little question. Uh, since you have filed a plea in the Supreme Court, now many students are asking, uh, has it been listed? When will the matter be heard?
Actually, as far as the listing is concerned, I was expecting last week because we have moved an application for urgent hearing, but that was not considered. And again on 18th, we filed an application for interim relief and also we have mentioned for urgent listing. So this week we are hoping that they may get we will get some hearing this particular week because it's an urgent matter. This matter falls under extremely urgent category only. Even though honorable we got a reply that this matter does not fall under.
Are you going to push for an early date again?
Again. I'm waiting for the notification for admit card. The moment it comes again, we will press for urgent listing of the matter. Already we have pressed 3 times, and on 18th also we have filed an application for interim relief and also mentioned for listing the matter on urgent basis, but we could not get any reply. So let's see next week, maybe when the cause list will be declared for next bench, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, we'll get to know whether our matter gets listed, and I'm quite hopeful that next week this matter may come up.
Thanks, Anubhaji, for joining in. I hope this was insightful for all students and everybody out there. Thank you so much.